Professionals table is ready.
Okay, you ready? Calling to order the zoning board of adjustment, Raritan Township, New Jersey, regular meeting, December 5th, 2024. Notice of meeting. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied by the placing of a notice of this meeting on the bulletin board at the municipal building, filing same with the township clerk, and transmitting same to the Hunter County Democrat, the Courier News, the Star Ledger, and the Trenton Times. Roll call, please.
Chairwoman, Ms. Cynthia Schaefer.
Here.
Vice Chairman, Mr. Rasul Damji.
Here.
Mr. Steve Farcio has asked to be excused. Mr. Randy Block.
Here.
Mr. Jim Ferrero.
Here.
Ms. Lindsay Cool-Brunkel. She is also asked to be excused. Ms. Lorette Gratina has asked to be excused as well. Ms. Donna Drews.
Here.
Mr. James Miller.
Here.
Board Professionals, Board Attorney, Mr. John Drill.
Here.
Township Planner, Mr. Jeffrey Beccarella.
Here.
On behalf of Board Engineer, Mr. Rakesh Darshi, we have Mr. Ryan McCarthy.
Here.
Township Landscape Architect, Mr. John Morgan Thomas,
Here.
and all other board professionals have asked to be excused. Actually, Board Secretary Taylor Vaughn here.
Okay, can I get a motion to excuse Steve, Lindsay, and Lorette?
So moved. I'll second that.
Can I get a vote, please?
Chairwoman, Ms. Cynthia Schaefer.
Yes.
Mr. Rasul Damji.
Yes.
Mr. Randy Block.
Yes.
Mr. Jim Ferrero.
Yes.
Ms. Donna Drews.
Yes.
Mr. James Miller.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Comments and announcements, hearing none. Distribution of correspondence, none. Minutes, none. Moving on to resolutions for this evening, there are 3.
Well, there are 4 listed. One's not going to be adopted because they owe escrow money, but you should call that resolution, in my opinion, and then explain that it's going to be tabled because of that reason.
Confirmed.
I don't see it on my,
Shouldn't there?
oh,
aren't
the
there
top
4?
one, the top
Oh.
one.
No, you know what? I'm sorry. I gave out the wrong resolutions.
The wrong
I gave
agenda.
out the wrong agendas. Yes, CE Main Street should have been listed.
Call the first resolution,
Okay, thank you.
and our board secretary will have an explanation.
Thank you.
Okay, calling the first resolution, resolution number 2024-12, CE Main Street LLC, Block 41, Lot 63, 181 Old Croton Road, BOA number 06-2024. Explanation, please.
So this application, currently their escrow account is in arrears. We have notified them, but unfortunately payment has not been received. So unfortunately this evening, the adoption is not up. The resolution is not up for adoption.
So could you send the applicant and the applicant's attorney an email explaining the resolution was ready to be adopted this evening, but was tabled and will not be adopted until and unless they bring the escrow up to snuff?
Correct. Yes, I will.
Okay, moving on to the next one. Resolution number 2024-13, ESCO Precision, Inc., Block 36.02, Lot 14, 15, 16, and 16, 7, 11, and 17 Royal Road, BOA number 10-2021. Resolution memorializing modification of condition 1 of resolution number 2024-02 for the extension of time to revise plans and related documents and to obtain signatures of the revised plans to September 5th, 2024, and 2, condition number 15 of the resolution number 2022-08 for extension of time to apply for and obtain zoning and construction permits to November 18th, 2024.
Now, they've blown through these dates. They're going to have to seek another extension, but I just wanted to, again, end of the year, I wanted to get all the resolutions adopted. I was hoping you'd come in, you'd do another extension, and you'd save one resolution, but it's,
Okay, and we're in agreement that this is version 2024-12-01, version 2?
yes.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
I will second.
Can I vote, please? Who can vote?
We have Chairwoman, Ms. Cynthia Schaefer,
Yes.
Mr. Randy Block,
Yes.
Mr. Rasul Damji,
Yes.
Mr. Jim Ferrero,
Yes.
Mr. James Miller.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to the next resolution. Dave and Sally McPherson, 3 Emerald Road, Block 77.09, Lot 48, application number BOA-19-2024, interpretation and certification that the multiple family use and apartment use are lawfully created, pre-existing non-conforming uses, and are entitled to continue. Resolution number 2024-15, version 2024-12-01, version 2. Can I get a motion to approve?
Well, actually, it
This is
should be-
version 3.
Yeah,
Oh.
version 3, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was late today. I didn't have a chance to give it to you guys.
Okay,
The
Yeah.
only difference is on the last page, under conditions, number 1, the first sentence, any future improvements that would result in an expansion of the pre-existing non-conforming use of the property shall require minimum D2 variance relief from the board. That was the additional
okay.
mark.
Yeah, I wanted to just read this last condition. The prior version said, any future improvements shall require at a minimum a D2 variance relief from the board, period. Third version, long story short, there's a back and forth. Here's the agreed upon condition, which in my opinion is acceptable, and the applicant's attorney's position is also acceptable. It's longer. Instead of one sentence, so I'm going to read it slowly. Any future improvements that would result in an expansion of the pre-existing non-conforming use of the property shall require at a minimum a D2 variance from the board as well as site plan approval from the board, period. Next sentence. Any future improvements to the property that do not result in an expansion of the pre-existing non-conforming use of the property shall require site plan approval from the board, period. Then in parentheses, while the use of the property is residential, the property is not exempt from site plan approval because it contains multi-family residential housing and not a single-family dwelling or a two-family dwelling unit building. And then I cite the statute which exempts those from site plan approval.
Okay. All right. Can I get a vote? Can I get a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Vote, please.
No, Randy can.
Right. It's Drews, Ferraro, and Schaefer, because
Yeah.
the other people are either not eligible or they're not here tonight.
All right, Jim, you wanna,
I'll make the motion.
Donna, you,
I'll second.
okay, can I get a vote?
No, Donna,
Donna, yeah.
Yeah, Donna's on it. She's the first one.
I'm sorry, you're right, you're right.
She's good.
Chairwoman, Ms. Cynthia Schaefer,
Yes.
Ms. Donna Drews,
Yes.
Mr. Jim Ferrero.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to the last resolution of the evening. Kurt Fry, 16 Mancher Court, Block 45.01, Lot 14, application number BOA-12-2024, resolution memorializing grant of C1 variance to allow a deviation from the maximum hard surface permitted to allow installation of an accessory hot tub. Resolution number 2024-16, version 2024-12-01-V2.
Right, so now we are up to version 4, and in fact, our board secretary is going to read some late-breaking revisions. I got the numbers from the notes of the hearing,
Okay,
but the notes on the plan had conflicts, so between Mr. Fry, myself, and we had Jeff as the ultimate arbiter on this, we have what we all believe now to be corrected numbers. So can you just read the corrections into the record? And then that's the version that we're going to ask the board to adopt.
Yes. Okay, so on the first page, in the first paragraph, the last sentence, and the applicant proposes to install a hot tub. John had 221.8 square foot concrete slab when it should just be 81. On the second page, under section A, number 1, the first sentence, the property is an undersized and irregularly shaped 0.96 acre. And then parentheses, the square footage, it should read 41,834.89 square feet. And that same exact correction is made on page 3, under number 4, findings and conclusions, under A, positive criteria. Again, it's just the change of the square footage of the property.
Right, but just read it into the record again.
John had it as the 40,511, when it should be 41,834 square feet. And then the last one. On page 6, it's under conditions, number 6.
Hold it. Remember that one?
Mhm. I thought we were just gonna read on the record that's staying.
Right, meaning that's staying.
Yeah, I was just gonna read on the record that it's staying.
The applicant wanted a revision to this condition,
Mhm.
but I do not believe the revision should be made. So condition 6 is going to remain as is. And if the applicant has a problem with that tomorrow, we'll deal with it.
Okay,
That's what you were going to say, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
all right. Can I get a motion? And it's only the three of us.
So moved.
Jim, can you second?
Okay,
Say second.
Sorry, second.
Thank you.
thank you. Chairwoman, Ms. Cynthia Schaefer,
Yes.
Mr. Jim Ferrero,
Yes.
Ms. Donna Drews.
Yes. Okay, moving on to the applications for this evening. There's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Okay, so first one, BOA case number 17-2021, applicant is Shanty LLC, block 41.01, lot 305 Highway 12. The applicant is time extension request for obtaining zoning and construction permits. Would you like me to read this into the record?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, dated November 26, 2024. Dear Chairperson and members of the board, Shanty LLC is requesting a 6-month extension to obtain the zoning permit for 305 Route 12, Lot 3, Block 41.03, application BOA-17-2021. The bond company and the contractors are taking longer than anticipated to finalize the bond required for the permit. I am actively working with them to move the process forward, but additional time is needed to complete this step. Thank you for your consideration in this matter. Sincerely, Rajesh Singh.
So the underlying resolution was 22-11. And 22-11 had a number of conditions. Condition 1 gave it a certain amount of time to make revisions to the site plans and the stormwater management study. And they previously got an extension of that in resolution 2023-13. So the first thing I want to ask Jeff is, have they done that by the new May 4, 2024 date, or do they also need that extended?
No,
That's done?
satisfied, yes.
Okay, so the only thing they need extended then is condition 13 in resolution 2022-11. And that gave them until November 4, 2024 to get all the permits, and they want that extended till when? They say 6 months, right? So 6
May.
months would be December, January, February, March, April, May. That would be May 4, 2025. In your opinion, is that going to give them enough time?
That should. There was one condition that they had to clean up some of the materials on the site. That has been done. So it's really only his request. There's no other conditions that are holding this up.
Okay.
Okay, so the request in terms of a motion, if the board wanted to grant the modification of condition number 13 of resolution 2022-11 to grant an extension, the extension would be to apply for and obtain all construction permits by May 4, 2025, correct? Now, I know in here, he talks about a zoning permit, but it's construction permits. He needs the zoning permit to get the construction permit. It's the construction permit.
Okay. So do we need a motion?
Yeah, it's, if you're going to grant the modification and extension, someone makes a motion. Oh, you're here with the applicant? Oh, well, come on up. Why don't you say something?
Got it, Jim?
We're trying to kill the music first. Can you lower her microphone so we can speak?
John, can you make sure yours is on?
Go ahead.
Can you identify yourself?
Yeah, when you say Rajesh wife, and I'm from, we are from Santi.
You're from,
Like Santi LLC company, we represent.
Shanti,
LLC.
okay.
Yes. So the question I have is, I know we requested for 6 months and this is like winter period. So would it be okay?
That's why I was asking.
If we get more than 6
Right.
months, because then contractor, then they're just like, it's winter and snow
Right.
season.
My suggestion was going to be that you ask for a year instead of 6 months. You ask
Yeah.
for by November 4, 2025. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, so, yeah,
That's
Anyone
fine.
have a problem with that?
No.
I'm glad you said something.
thank you so much. And I have 2 more questions. if
Okay.
you Permit. Okay.
Yeah.
So my second question is like bond, wanted to find out if it is not dependent on like the septic, if it is not,
I have no idea. You're gonna have to contact your attorney. I have no idea.
but the document that I was looking at, it is, if it is not dependent on like septic, so can we get that built in the meantime or?
I don't know. I don't know. But this is the land use board, right? They granted your application. They gave you a date to get construction permits. What you have to do to get those construction permits is talk to the construction department.
Okay, okay, so construction, okay, all right, that's fine. And my second question would be like, what is it? Yeah, like, this is for like external, like for bond and all that requirement, but when can we start like inside work? Like
You
inside the
cannot
building?
start any work until you have a construction permit.
Okay, okay, so that will be valid for both outside as well as inside.
correct.
Okay, understood.
Yep.
Thank you.
The escrow needs to be posted as well.
Okay, okay, understood.
Okay, so
That's all.
the
Thank you.
amended request is for a 1-year extension. So a modification of condition number 13 of resolution 22-11 to get an extension of the time within which to obtain all construction permits to November 4, 2025. That's the
Okay.
request.
All right. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion. I second.
Roll call, please.
Chairwoman, Ms. Cynthia Schaefer,
Yes.
Vice Chair, Mr. Russell Domji,
Yes.
Mr. Randy Block,
Yes.
Mr. Jim Ferrero,
Yes.
Ms. Donna Drews,
Yes.
Mr. James Miller.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to the next case for this evening, BOA case number 15-2022. Applicant is Penn Partners LLC. Location is block 71, lots 8 and 8.001, 180 Highway 202. Applicant is time extension request for obtaining zoning and construction permits. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Chairwoman, members of the board. Kara Kaczynski of McNally, Yarrows, Kaczynski and Lime here tonight on behalf of the applicant. I was prepared to make a little summary of the history. You have the letter. I know you have a long meeting tonight, so whatever the board's pleasure is with regard to what you'd like me to do, just let me know.
John, do you want me to read the letter? Do you want her to summarize?
We're gonna look at how long the letter is.
It's a page and a half.
You don't mind just getting a little bit closer to the microphone now?
Why don't you which condition? So this is resolution 2023-09.
Correct?
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think the only revision, the only modification you need is modification of condition number 1, I believe, to extend the time within which to make the revisions to the site plan to get the site plans signed off on from June 7, 2024 until June 7, 2025. Is that correct?
That's correct. The plans have been
Wait,
revised.
You ready for this?
Okay.
We're good?
1 year extension. You have a problem with that, Jeff? I don't either.
1 year to today? So we
1
can-
year, 1 year from
No.
June 7,
Oh.
2024 to June 7, 2025. What she was about to say is they've made all the revisions. They probably don't even need this long, but this is just in case, correct?
Perfect. Yep.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Chairwoman, Ms. Cynthia Schaefer,
Yes.
Vice Chair, Mr. Russell Domji,
Yes.
Mr. Randy Block,
Yes.
Mr. Jim Ferrero, Ms. Donna Drews,
Yes.
Mr. James Miller.
Yes.
Okay,
You want me to stay?
yeah,
Yes.
you might as well.
Okay, next case, BOA case number 16-2024 applicant, I'm sorry. We're going to skip to,
Right. Just stay there. We're skipping to your
Yeah,
other case.
okay. BOA case number 02-2023 applicant Flemington Family Partnerships LLC. Location block 72.23 lot 31, 328 Highway 202. Applicant preliminary and final site plan with D variance and bulk variances for proposed car dealership. And this is an adjournment?
Yeah.
Yes,
Can you first enter your appearance on the record?
absolutely. Kara Kaczynski, McNally, Yaros, Kaczynski, and Lime on behalf of the applicant.
Okay, and you're requesting to have the hearing adjourned, I understand it to February 6th?
Correct.
So first, is there anyone in the audience here tonight on the Flemington Family Partnership application? There probably is not, because a lot of people were calling on this, and they were calling the office, and the office let them know that you weren't going to be heard tonight, and then told the people to call in to find out the date, because you're asking to be carried to February 6th, 2025, without need for further notice. And you're going to extend the time within which the board has to act on the application to March 31, correct?
Correct. And I just want the board to know that the additional escrow was provided, so I'm assuming we'll get our review letters shortly, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Correct. So on this one, they didn't get any review letters because there wasn't any escrow. So the board professionals were like, well, we're not doing any review letters unless there's escrow. So now the escrow's been,
Okay, and we
Okay.
confirm that the renotice was done on 11/21/24?
Yes.
Okay,
so anyone have a problem with that? That one doesn't require a motion. If no one objects, make the announcement again. The hearing in this matter, Flemington Family Partnership, which is board application number 02/2023, is going to be carried to February 6, 2025. There'll be no new notice going out. And the applicant has extended the time within which the board can act on that application until March 31, 2025. Do you want her to send something in about that, or is it good enough to say it on the record? If you want something sent in, just
I'll
tell her.
send it to you just so you have it for the record. Yeah.
just want to confirm, it's February 6th?
February 6th, yeah.
Okay,
February
for
6th.
some reason I heard February 26th. It's
Okay.
February 6th. Okay,
And the only other thing I'd say is if there is anyone here tonight that would like to.
We
talk
already
about
made
it-
the announcement. I already asked. There's no one here.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
moving on to the next case, BOA case number 16-2024, applicant Jeff Anselin, location block 14.01, lot 14, 114 Barton Hollow Road. Applications for C variance for proposing a 6-foot high fence within the front yard setback area and the property and accessory structures in front and principal structure. Good evening, Mr. Anselin, if you could give me a minute.
Good evening.
So two of us are going to recuse ourselves?
So we'll just state for the record that Chairwoman Miss Cynthia Schaefer and Mr. Randy Block are going to recuse themselves.
Okay, and the board, as a 7-member board, a quorum is 4. 4 is enough to hear the application. It's a C variance. You need a majority of a quorum, so you need 3 votes out of the 4 to get the relief. So the 2 people recusing, why don't you guys just go out in the hall or whatever, have a nice break, and we'll call you when the next application is up.
No.
Our vice chairman is going to be taking over as chairman, correct?
Yes, I will. Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Go ahead.
So let me get everyone sworn that's going to participate. As I understand it, obviously, the applicant's going to get sworn. He's going to participate. Jeff, anyone other than you or just you?
No,
Just you. So can you 2 stand up? Can both of you raise your right hands? Do both of you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, and for the microphone, can you identify yourself for the record?
Jeff Anslin, 114 Barton Hollow Road, Flemington.
And Jeff, can you identify yourself?
Jeff Raritan Township planner.
Okay,
Ready to go?
yep,
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. I'm here to request 2 C variances tonight. I have a corner lot. Being that I do have a corner lot, I have 2 front yards, which, require certain things. So the first requires relief from section 296-142C1 to allow a 6-foot high fence within the 50 front yard setback. Second variance would be for relief from section 296-131 to allow for accessory structures in front of the primary structure. So the first one, the 6-foot high fence, approximately 31 feet of the 192 feet of fence encroaches on the setback by less than approximately 10 feet. Being a county road, it's a 50-foot setback. If it was a residential road, it would have been a 33-foot setback. And just a point on that, as people do drive down Kleinsville Road, which is the corner road by it, it's a 45-mile-an-hour road. I believe that the 6-foot fence would be beneficial, as drivers might not be distracted at seeing people, in the pool area. They're driving by and, it catches their eye. The second variance is for structures that are in front of the primary structure. There is a pool and there is a pool house. I moved in 32 years ago. They were there. The earliest survey I can find is 1981. I asked Warren and Bourne for one. Prior to that, they didn't have one, and I realized that 1979, prior, you didn't need permits. So I have something from 1981. If I can, John, I have pictures just to show. Can I give you?
Yes, let's get them marked as exhibits. How many pictures you have?
There's 3.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna take one packet. I'm gonna mark one as A1, right in the order you have them. One is A2, and one is A3. Can you give this board secretary and this? Let me have one, and then you can hand those others to the board members. So we're marking the top one A1, the second one A2, the third one A3. And Jeff, you took these yourself, correct?
Yes, I did.
And do you know what date you took them on? Or if you don't know the date, you know what month?
It was last month.
Okay, so in November of 2024, you took these pictures.
This is probably October.
Okay, in October of
Yes.
2024, you took these pictures. Okay.
John, what's at the current time? I have a copy of the survey with the 1981 date on it. Want to put that
You know
in?
what? That's a good idea. And I assume what you're saying is the survey from 1981 is so close to 79 that the board could imply and assume that these structures were there in 1979, and in 1979, let's get Jeff to, did you need permits for these structures in 1979?
No, there's an exception of 1979.
Okay. And so let's mark this survey as A4. And we're going to give this one down to the board secretary and then hand those out too.
Thank you.
So just first looking at the pictures, the first picture you see would be going west on Kleinsville Road. So you can see, you can see the fence, but it is hard to see it. The second picture would be coming east on Kleinsville. You're past the pool before you would even see that fence. And then the last one is just an overview from the top. You can see the pool house that's there in the pool. The spillover spot says hot tub. It's not a hot tub. It's just a little sitting pool, and water just dumps into the main pool. There is no electric associated with that, and no heat. And then obviously the survey shows that that's a date of September of 1981. So I would respectfully request, the 2C variance for this.
Any comments?
Yeah, I've been on site, and the pictures do reflect a lot of what, is stated. There's a long line of, mature trees that block the view from even the fence and the structures, and all the structures are within the fence limit. The structures that are, that require relief are within the fence.
Okay.
And the fence, it's just a direct replacement of what's the same location.
footprint, yes.
Yeah. And it's only that section. It's not the entire.
Any members of the board? Comments? No? John, any comments from you?
No, I'd say if the board's inclined to grant the relief, I'd go with the C1. The structures were already there. He's just replacing. He's replacing the fence. And right, from a 4-foot to a 6-foot. No negative detrimental aesthetic impact as shown by the pictures.
Okay, sounds good. Anybody from the public wants to make any comments?
Anyone in the public here on this application? People are out there, but they're shaking their heads no.
Okay, Jim, you want to go ahead? We can close this one.
I have no problems with that. I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's a de minimis impact. So I don't have any problems with it.
I have no problem at all. I understand what he's trying to do. Not a problem.
Okay, I'll make some comments. First of all, thank you so much. It was very clear. And so we appreciate that. And I totally agree with you. It will benefit the neighborhood. So that's a good point too. And I'm also in favor of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And this would be one of those, I guess, rare applications. Any conditions?
Just the permit for the school.
Anything else other than a permit for the spillway? What kind of, any permit needed for the fence?
And the fence, yeah, the fence.
So permit for the spillway and permit for the fence. What kind of timing are you looking at? Put it this way, you don't want to come back here like the other people did for
No,
extensions.
No, I don't.
Okay, so
Why don't we do 6 months?
well, it's now December, right? It's cold.
Right.
So you want a year?
Yeah.
Okay,
2 years.
a year to get your permits. And a year from when the resolution's adopted, not a year from tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. We're ready to vote?
If anybody wants to make a motion?
Right. Motion to grant with those conditions? Anyone?
Yeah.
Second.
Well, I can't make it. Someone say so moved.
No, he did.
Oh, I didn't hear him. Jim said moved.
Okay,
The other Jim seconded.
Second.
you're James. You're not Jim.
It's a Jim and a James. Jim moved and James seconded.
Okay, Vice Chair, Mr. Russell Domji,
Yes.
Mr. Jim Ferrero,
Yes.
Ms. Donna Drews.
Yes.
Mr. James Miller.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
By the way,
and then just give me one moment. I'm gonna go get the other board members.
he didn't have his picture.
I should compliment him.
No, good news. All right. Thanks. Have a nice night.
I drive by that house all the time.
The reason.
I come up Martin Hollow, make a left. This is a weird turn to make a left. It's awkward because the driveway really is like right on the corner. It's bizarre.
Seems like he's friendly now.
I know.
I don't even remember.
Oh, well.
I don't remember. That's how bad.
At one time I was going to make the left. and it was him or
He
one
looked
of the people
right,
living there.
he
They came
looked
up,
vaguely
they
familiar.
had left direction on, but they're waiting for me to go. I'm like, why don't you just go? And then I finally go, and then I see him. I'm like, oh, I was blocking him going into the driveway. Wow, this is a nice chair. No, at least remove.
Where did the objections go?
So I guess the protest lady was here for. Yeah, I thought maybe they'd be here for the shop. Sorry?
What were the people here for then?
Christian Goodwill. Let me get 'em. We lost power this afternoon. Really? Yeah, again. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, it was, I don't know how well you know Oak Cliff Road, but if you head north from Sand Hill, Daymar.
Yeah.
It was just before Valley View. I mean, they had it blocked off, the trucks and a spotlight, the cherry picker up there. It's just.
Okay, so now we know which problem.
Yeah, we're very efficient.
Yes.
Even John was quiet.
Moving right along.
That's right. That's right. They're beautiful.
I will give the builders credit though, they just fired up the
Okay, so where
generator.
am I now?
That's right.
Is it green?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, they don't have the siding on, but the walls are up,
Randy-
the roof is already on. It's
No, it's me.
on now.
We all here?
With the batteries.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Moving to the next case, BOA case number 12-2020. Applicant is the Fud Shop Land Group LLC, Block 36, Lot 65, 10 Millbrook Road Place. Application is for a minor site plan with D variance relief for manufacturing use and residential use in a B3 zone. Good evening.
Evening.
Is one as an attorney or?
Oh, yeah, it's Scott Bullock, Large Scammell and Danziger on behalf of the applicant, the Fud Shop.
Okay,
Okay, so what do we have?
This is going to be a property that's currently located in the B3 commercial zone. It's block 36, lot 65, corner of Millbrook Road and Bury Lane in Raritan Township. The applicant Fud Shop owns the property. It's approximately 3.4 acres. It's currently developed with a one-story single-family dwelling and an attached garage facing Millbrook Road with an L-shaped masonry building behind the existing single-family dwelling that's currently being used for storage and some office space. And there's also an approximately 2,000 square foot, 3-bedroom apartment on the second floor and a storage shed with some gravel driveways and parking areas. We're seeking a minor site plan approval with the use and bulk variance relief and some design exceptions to prevent manufacturing use in the B3 zoning district. The product that's going to be manufactured is going to be candy, mostly I assume chocolate candy. And the candy is going to be sold at the Fud Shop, which is a pre-existing retail business located on Route 202, basically in front of and facing 202 from where the manufacturing area is going to be. And I'm here with the owners of the LLC, Mr. Burry and Mr. Gilchrist, who are going to walk us through some of the history of the business and the use now in a general sense and about what their plans are for when they begin the manufacture.
So a couple of questions.
Sure.
In the B3 zone, I'm going to ask Jeff, the retail selling of the candy, is that permitted?
Yes, yes, it is.
And the retail facility, is that on the same lot with the subject to?
No, it is not.
Okay, so the lot with the retail store, so to speak, is not in front of the board and that's permitted, correct, Jeff?
Correct.
Yeah, this is a separate property that's to the rear.
Yep, just want to get everyone focused. So let's get everyone sworn and then you do your thing. So anyone who's going to testify in this application, the two principals, we have, looks like an engineer, we have a planner here, and we have the board's engineer, planner, and landscape architectural expert. And everyone stand up, everyone raise their right hands. Does everyone swear or affirm the testimony they're going to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, starting over there?
I do.
Okay, and then starting back over there into the microphone, if you guys find microphones, please slowly state your name, spell your last name, and give your relationship to the applicant and or the board as the case may be.
Stephen Burry, Burry, owner of the Fudge Shop Land Group.
Okay, so the Fudge Shop Land Group LLC, right?
Correct. Yes, LLC.
Are you a managing member, president? Do you know your official title?
Vice President,
You're vice president of the
LLC.
LLC. And is the LLC the applicant here?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, next.
Richard Gilchrist, Gilchrest, and I am a president of.
The applicant.
Yep.
Okay,
James Kyle, KYLE, Kyle McManus Associates in Hopewell, professional planner for the applicant.
okay.
Steve Parker, Parker, project engineer.
Okay, you're a PE
Correct.
and you're the applicant's engineering expert.
Yes.
Next,
Ryan McCarthy. I am the board engineer or filling in for the board engineer.
well, you're
Same company.
same company. Okay,
Jeff Pecorella, township planner.
John Thomas, board landscape architect.
okay. We're ready to roll.
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Gilchrist, can you tell us a little bit about the Fudge Shop LLC and what kind of business that it does?
So the Fudge Shop itself is a business that's existed since 1961. We manufacture and sell chocolate-based confections. We really are in the people business. We manufacture.
Just a quick, where do you manufacture now?
We manufacture on the second floor of our 202 facility.
Okay. Keep on going.
The
By the way, let's get the address of that.
Sure. 461 US Highway 202, Flemington, New Jersey.
Okay. Do you happen to know the lot and block of that for that, or am I going to ask your engineer or planner?
68. Yeah, lot 68,
Lot 68,
same block.
block 36. Okay. Go ahead, keep on going.
So the manufacturing we do, we're really happy to say it's simple ingredients, it's food, and they're simple recipes. Like everything we make, it's probably less than 7 ingredients. So the manufacturing we do is very light, it's very pleasant. We never get any complaints about what we're cooking. People always feel like we're luring them in. But I really, the manufacturing we do is specialty food. And so we've been doing that since 1961. I'm sorry, so that's the Fudge Shop. A little more than 10 years ago, the property in question was available for sale. I went and I parked in the driveway of that off of what is now Bury Lane, and I looked, and they were dilapidated buildings, broken windows, leaking roofs. The tenants that were in both of those structures had bad relationships with the families in that neighborhood. And so we thought this was something we could do and we could add value to our community. And it had to be sustainable. We didn't know fully, but there was an apartment on the second floor of that larger building. And then there was a house. There was never enough residential available in central New Jersey. And we thought at the very least we could go and start there. We did not realize that there was in fact in 1984, something in this township that the residential was switched over to office. We did not know that.
people were living in that space and we assumed that's how it was. So when we did purchase it, we cleaned it up, improved it, put a new roof on and new heat and we have people living in there. Since COVID, I'm so happy we don't have office space. Nobody needs more office space in New Jersey, but we do need more residential. So we hope to clear that up tonight.
Okay, which building? So we have what is the site plan?
A large L-shaped building.
Hold on, where's this thing open? And a little one. Okay, so looking at the of the site plan. Shows a one-story frame dwelling with a garage closest to Millbrook Road, in the corner of Millbrook and Bury Lane. And I was going to quickly ask Jeff, Bury Lane, is that a township street? Is that?
Yes, yes, it is, yeah.
And then to the east of the one-story frame dwelling and garage is the L-shaped building you're referring to. And the plan, at least, again, sheet 2 or 4 of the site plan shows a 2-story masonry building, let's say the bottom of the L, and a 1-story masonry building, the top part of the L, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, and then there's a frame garage to the east of the L-shaped building. And it shows, now I know it says the existing garage is going to be removed. I see the note. And there's a shed. It also says existing shed to be removed, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so start with this 1-story frame dwelling and garage closest to Millbrook Road. What currently goes on there, and then what are you proposing to have go on there?
So in that house, there's enough of the fence there. We intend for them to live there happily.
Okay, so
And
hold on. The 1-story frame dwelling is occupied now. It's supposed to continue to be occupied.
yes.
And that, I assume, is a renter unrelated to the business, correct?
It is.
Now, Jeff. Is or dwellings allowed to be rezoned?
No, they're not.
You know, when that dwelling was,
I do not know. I believe it may be.
put it this way. You're applying for a D1 use variance to also have people continue to live in that building, correct?
I thought we want people to live in that building, but I thought the variance we needed to get was for that second story.
There's a bunch of variances you need to get, which the planner is going to address. I just want to set the table, so to speak. So, Mr. Kyle, I know you haven't been qualified yet, but just factually, so we don't have to qualify you right now. Factually, what relief is being sought for the 1-story frame dwelling?
So the application was for a D1 variance to continue the single-family use on the property.
In that way, you don't have to go through and try to prove that it was a lawfully pre-existing non-conforming dwelling, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Now, we think it was built around 1956.
Now, if it was built in 1956, the first ordinance adopted in the township in
1957 or 1950. Yeah, 57.
So, Jeff, do you have a suggestion on how to deal with the 1-story dwelling in front of the property?
When I did the report, I called out that it should be a D1 request. So
What, before you get, what evidence do you have that it was constructed in 1956?
So I've been working with Rich and Steve on,
Tell you what, can I just?
you want me to get me clarified here?
Yeah, sure.
So I've appeared before the board a number of times. I'm still licensed by the state as a professional planner. I'm happy to go through my educational qualifications if you like, but nothing's changed.
I think we know.
I know, listen. Anyone here is, we have an interested party in the back, are you?
That's Joe Shemansky.
Just in case someone's not here.
I understand.
The board granted an approval, they want to file for prerogative. Can we just get them, put your qualifications on.
Sure. I have a bachelor.
But for the record, he's testified here before, he's been accepted as an expert probably over a dozen times.
Well, more than that.
Okay. But just.
Sure. So I have a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Planning and Design, which I received from Rutgers in 1996. I've been a practicing planner for over 20 years, currently licensed by the state as a professional planner, also a member of the American Institute of Certified Planners. I've appeared before this board many times and over 230 boards in the state. Also qualified as an expert in planning in 3 vicinages of Superior Court in the state of New Jersey.
Okay, now you accept him as an expert?
Yes.
Thank you.
So, Jim, you were saying, what kind of evidence do you have that this dwelling was constructed in 1956 prior to the township's first ordinance?
So I've been working with Steve and Rich on this in many forms since about 2019. There have been many prior applications related to the site before they purchased it. So there are a number of resolutions. The information that we pulled together through those applications, some dating back to, it was 1966 was the first time that.
But give me some paper that leads you to conclude that the house was constructed in 1956.
So I saw that date and some information that we had compiled, but just not a general history of it. Now, what I can do is go and look at the tax record and produce that, if that would be helpful.
Well, Jeff did that. That's why he was suggesting go with a D1 variance. I was hoping you would come up with something that the board could say, oh, no, we're comfortable declaring that thing was constructed in 1956. So we don't need a D1 use variance for that. That's grandfather.
Okay.
Do we have something like that?
I can look. I'll have to look in the material that I have.
Okay,
just to
look in
make
the
sure that
material you
there's
have.
something to
So
do.
for now, one of the D1 use variances is to allow residential occupancy of the 1-story frame dwelling. All right, so you can step back for a second. Let's go back to Mr. Gilchrist. So now that next building, the L-shaped building, what is currently going on in that L-shaped building?
Well, there's storage, and like, we don't need office space.
No, I understand, but just tell me what, if we went out there today, what would we see in the L-shaped building?
You could say various things stored, and then the apartment above.
Okay, so this is the one you were talking, there's an apartment
It's second
in,
story.
in the bottom of the L, the 2-story masonry building, there's an apartment above that, or there's an apartment above the 1-story masonry building?
The part that says 2-story masonry building, the second level of that is an apartment.
Okay, so there's an apartment over the L-shaped building. And let's forget what's inside the building for now. What's proposed to be in that building? You want to propose the apartment to remain on the second floor,
Yeah,
which is another one of the D1 variances.
and then we would like to produce if you see the part that says 1-story masonry building.
Yes,
That section, we would like to produce candy in there.
so that would be the manufacturing facility.
Yeah, and then the other part, there's garages under the 2-story, so we just keep that as it is.
Okay, so what is going to be stored underneath on the first level of the 2-story building? Business-related things?
Yeah.
Or things related to residential use of the other building?
Business. Yeah, it would be absolutely stuff associated with our business, yeah.
Okay, so let me get this right. First floor of the 2-story of the L is manufacturing related storage. right? Okay. I understand what the application's for. You guys understand what the application's for?
Yep.
All right. What else you want to tell them?
I think when I talked to our neighbors, they were concerned about deliveries coming down Bury Lane. It's a very narrow road. And we assured them we wouldn't have deliveries down Bury Lane. As a matter of fact, every Tuesday we get a delivery. It's a mixed delivery. And right now, some chocolate goes to one part of the basement and some bulk candy. We get bulk
Okay,
candy.
when you say, when you say chocolate goes to the basement of what?
Right now we get a delivery to the 202, the 461 202 address. That's where we have our manufacturing and our retail at this time. We split those deliveries into different parts of the basement.
The basement of the other building?
Yes, of the two.
Retail.
Building that's not subject.
Yeah.
Correct. Keep on going. So what's going to happen, though, if the board grants the approval? Where will the delivery still go into that building?
Yes.
Yeah, we'd still go to 202. We would divide up what, say if we had our manufacturing back there, we would fill up our car, truck, or like just a pickup with chocolate, drive it down Millbrook Road and bring it to the back building.
That really is not uncommon in the candy business, where candy businesses outgrow their retail space.
Mhm.
They used to make candy in the basement. And so they end up manufacturing often miles away. And they end up a lot of ferrying, but we move it back and forth in a car. It sounds inefficient, but we're just a little, and so even as, we're reasonably large as a candy manufacturer, but it just still, it's very easy.
Yeah, so I don't want to throw a curveball. We got a little issue here. I just brought it to the attention of your planner. We were under the impression that as part of this application, there wasn't going to be any more manufacturing related stuff in the building that's not subject to the application. What you
So as far as not manufacturing.
No, but if you're doing storage in the basement of that building that's not subject to the application, but that storage is related to manufacturing in the building that is subject to the application, we thought you were gonna have all the manufacturing on lot 65 and no more manufacturing related stuff on lot 68.
So I guess I was trying to.
Yeah, some like different processes.
No, I understand, but I mean, to do this right, lot 65 should also be, lot 68 should also be part of the application.
Why?
Because they want, quite frankly, we can't find any approval to do any manufacturing on lot 68 that they're doing now. We're just keeping our running around.
Okay. So
So our assumption
was they were moving it?
Yeah, so we wouldn't have to deal with it.
So hold on one second.
Hello,
Yeah.
Mr. Kyle.
Hopefully you have something.
So part of the rather extensive material that, and Tony Kester had kind of put this all together when we started the initial application back in 2019. There was some discussion of an application.
I know.
So I think.
Back in 2019.
No, this was back in like 1966.
No. When we were first talking with Tony Kester about this,
Yeah.
back then, they were going to include all three lots.
Well, that was when there was this.
No, I
Yeah, there was a
understand.
different application. at
I
that time.
understand this. So our assumption was, because you didn't have lot 68 in this application,
Right.
that all the manufacturing related stuff was going to go on to lot 65, and you were just going to lead, you got a retail store, which is permitted in the zone.
Right.
And you could have storage related to the retail, but you can't have storage related to the manufacturing unless you put that lot in the thing. I'm not trying to be a pain in the neck, which I know I am being to these people, but I'm just trying to do this thing right.
All right, but wait. I was assuming that because of the situation on Bury Road, or place, whatever it's called, that they were still gonna have the deliveries to the retail store. And then the manufacturing piece would then be, that storage would be moved over to the,
If they want to do that, that's fine.
because that is on 202.
Right, I understand. That makes sense. But we assumed that they had changed that because the application as filed only came in on lot 65. They didn't include lot 68.
Well, and my assumption is my thought process is they were gonna leave it like that because they didn't want to have to worry about, because they have a bunch of variances here about the driveway not being wide enough and all that.
No.
And I thought that's because they don't want to make deliveries back there.
And they were gonna have that connected driveway, that was gonna be a proposal.
In the beginning, right, but correct. Everything you're saying is correct. The only thing that's missing is when the application came in and didn't have that other stuff, there was no indication that they were going to keep the manufacturing storage in that front building.
I assume there was because of the lack of driveway and all that. I assume that something was going to still happen there.
Because he said,
My
let me ask you this, how do you get the stuff from lot 68 back to lot 65 anyway?
I took some empty curtains back to the back building. I pulled out onto 202. I drove to Millbrook Road. I drove into that driveway. I opened the garage door, put them in there. Drove out, back to 202, down the road, around the little jug handle, and back.
So put it this way, let's assume that the
I
board,
assume it's a transient position.
let's assume the board grants the application as they filed it. If someone comes in and says they don't have the right to have that manufacturing related storage on lot 68, they're going to have a problem. If that lot is made part of the application and then you guys approve
the transfer.
Yeah, then it's
clean.
Then it's clean.
Clean.
Now, that's up to you guys what you want to do, but
Also, one other thing, I'm frequent there. And one of the charms is you are manufacturing in front of the clients. So more the reason. I go every week. You wanna recuse?
Yeah, you gotta recuse.
Okay.
John. It's one thing, like, you got a Dunkin' Donuts, you go in occasionally. If you go in every week.
I do.
You have an appearance of a conflict.
Every
in my-
week? How do you stay so
I
thin?
think he's a chocoholic. I think it's confirmed.
I want to take your blood pressure.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening.
Well, I go there once every blue moon, very rarely.
Yeah, no problem.
But I do find the appeal charming of you manufacturing.
You can say that.
Yeah. I do find the appeal of you manufacturing in front of the customer's charming.
You see the difference.
But I do go.
Yeah, I understand. I'm glad you.
Well, so at least you were honest about it. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay.
See what happens when you grow a beard, Jim.
No.
So they have to make a decision how.
Uh-oh.
Correct. All right, tell you what, can we take a 5-minute recess?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Because someone's coming down.
Okay. Back in order?
So
Back in
what,
session?
where do we stand? Jim, you want to come on up and articulate what the game plan is here?
So based on the discussion that we just had, there is a desire to do exactly what we were just describing. There will be materials for manufacturing on lot 65 stored at lot 68. We're going to amend the application. We will include lot 68 in the application. We do have a survey for that lot, but there won't be any improvements on that lot, but we'll include it. We'll give the board the information.
Yeah, and on the survey, can you also show where delivery trucks are going to come in? And also have some indication of how you're going to take the stored material from that lot and bring it back to the manufacturing facility?
We can do that. So we'll have to renotice because we're going to now include a second lot in the application. So we'll file an amended application and the plans as quickly as possible, and then we'll see when we can come back and we'll renotice.
Okay.
Okay.
Real quick, he's gonna add, I understand that Jeff may have to do another report.
I have a good idea, especially because we need to pick up a couple of more board members to hear this, to be fair to them. So maybe this is like a dry run. And we don't make the board members read the transcript. Now we've gone through a dry run. The presentation next time is going to be crisper. I say to start from, amend the application, do the notice, start from scratch. Pretend that this never happened, other than take good notes.
Yep.
Okay,
That's my suggestion.
okay, and then all the reports will have to be redone.
Correct. Right.
Every new application,
Yeah,
okay.
but you see, you hear what he's saying. They're going to be seeking some waivers for completeness, because they're not going to put in a site plan for lot 68.
Right.
They're going to put in a survey, basically an as-built plan. But they're going to have to describe what they're going to do in a narrative that will come with the application.
We can do that.
And show on it how you're doing the deliveries.
I think we can do that.
Okay.
So only one lot, so only two lots instead of three.
Is it 2 lots or 3 lots? There's a third lot.
Oh, we have the,
There's
well,
a vacancy plan. Yeah. We won't be doing anything with it.
Well, are you crossing it?
no, we're not going to.
Will not.
There will not be any between the lots.
I gotta see.
Do me a favor. Do you have something that shows?
We have a survey in the board.
Yeah, take the survey out. Let's just, look, we got some time. Let's just, this is a fully, just.
So you guys thought we were gonna have a late
Public
night.
hearing, right? A fully noticed public hearing. This is not a work session. We're still in the hearing.
Okay.
But we're gonna explore other issues that could come up to try to, expose them, see if you have any other problems.
Oh, no, that's the current. This is superseded.
Tell you what, can we take another recess?
Recess.
Okay.
All right,
So let me see if I understand, after talking with Mr. Kyle on the break, this is my understanding of what's going to happen, and I'm going to ask you, correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Instead of amending the application, they're not going to amend the application. This application is going to stay submitted. They're going to file a new application for lot 68. That new application is going to be hopefully for minor site plan approval, not preliminary and final. Hopefully for minor, they'll see if it qualifies, and a D1 variance. When that application is filed, the board will schedule both applications to be heard on the same night. And the first thing the board's going to do, at my recommendation, is consolidate both applications for one hearing. They're going to have one plan. The plan's going to have the stuff for lot 68 on it and the stuff for lot 65 on it. Each file will have that same plan. The board reports, one report for both applications, one resolution for both applications. That's the plan.
okay. You agree?
Yes.
And there's going to be a narrative to explain the delivery situation. When the tractor trailer comes to lot 68, some of the stuff goes into the basement in the building on lot 68 for retail sale. Well, retail sale is permitted, and accessory storage for retail sale is permitted. Some of the stuff goes to the manufacturing facility, but some of the stuff also stays in the basement for eventual transfer to the manufacturing facility, and that's what needs the D1 variance.
Okay,
And then once the board consolidates the two applications and then addresses it and decides it, hopefully they won't have any problems.
I have to ask, I just have to
It's going to be a
ask.
new notice,
No, I have to ask.
okay? Just ask.
Oh my God. Are we saying that they can no longer make the chocolate covered
No, no,
fruit
listen,
in
listen,
front of the
listen.
customers?
We're not saying anything. The board doesn't tell them that the board's not the zoning officer.
Okay, I'm good.
Don't even go there. The
So
board here's an application.
are we going to carry this?
No, this
We're
is, I told you, this is as if it never happened.
Okay.
Starting from, the hearing's going to start from scratch. Got to be clean. We don't want board members having to listen to a transcript. If you listen to a transcript of this, it's going all over the place.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
Fair enough.
we're going to have a brand new start, consolidated application. Beautifully put in application,
Okay,
no confusion.
But if you need a recording of what John clearly explained, it will be posted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot.
So I think we can be okay for the 16th of January.
Oh, really? You think that you can get?
Yeah, because it's really, I mean, it's a survey. We're not, there's no improvements proposed.
Right,
We
but you got-
just have to rework the plans to get both lots on the same plan,
Right.
get the narrative together,
And
and
you got to show this delivery stuff
We
with the
will.
tractor trailers.
we will.
Now, the only thing is, do you guys want the 21-day rule or do you want the 10-day
Needs to
rule?
be deemed complete.
Oh.
Okay, let's assume it's deemed complete. Assuming it's deemed complete. Well, if it's not deemed complete, when do you think you're going to get it, the application and the plan submitted?
Probably next week, right? You see any issue with that? So next week?
Tomorrow is the 6th, which means the following Friday
13th.
is the
So I'm
13th.
not submitting on a Friday, the 13th. We'll get it in by Thursday.
If they submitted it by the 12th, what's 21 days before January 16?
Christmas.
26th.
Well, put it this way. The applicant, then you can't complain. If the board says yes to this timing, you can't complain if you don't get reports until literally, the afternoon of January 16th.
Understood. I would think with lot 68 not having any improvements proposed, the report should be relatively clean.
Well, the only question is going to be how you do tractor trailer. They're going to want to make sure that
Mhm.
you can prove that that's done safely. So you don't want to have to bring a traffic engineer into this. You might want to have the board, you might want to have Jay Troutman review it for that.
Okay.
well, and what we have here is not changing.
No, what this,
Jeff's report, Jeff's,
correct. This
Right.
part is staying the same.
right, so we
It's-
have the report.
Right.
I just got John Thomas's today, so we have their report. And like you said, for lot 68, they're just doing the delivery.
It's the storage and delivery, but I assume you're going to want to review the delivery to see how it's.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely. I just don't want to, I've read this, I know what this is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Correct.
So getting something on the last day,
Listen, this is not changing.
right,
They're adding
right.
lot 68. And the
Right.
only question is, what reviews are going to need to be done for 68? Planning review is going to have to be done. I think you should have Jay Troutman do an engineering review. Do we need any more? Do we need a traffic engineering review? You'd probably just take a look at it and see,
I'd be surprised if.
and we're not going to need landscaping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't be much.
I mean, no offense, why are we pushing so much for the January? We saw February.
What do you have on in February?
On the 6th, it's the Flemington family.
Nothing.
Staying away from that one.
No,
You don't want to
that's
be
fine.
on, you don't want to be the same night as that. What's on the second meeting in February?
Right now, we have nothing. Nobody has confirmed.
Okay,
Why don't you take the second meeting in February?
okay.
It's a-
Instead of a rush
We're gonna-
job.
We're going to get it submitted if that works out better, because if the other application's going to take time, then
Yeah, the other one is, that's already on for the reorg.
that's good. And then I'll
Yeah.
have to have Beth cover the 16th of January because I'm going to be in California.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was also just gonna say the deliveries aren't gonna be, my understanding is deliveries aren't gonna be any different than what they are.
Today.
now.
I understand, but what we're saying is, but technically right now, the part of that delivery, the reason they're coming in on tractor trailers is because they're bringing in enough stuff, not only for the retail store, but also for manufacturing. They're gonna want their traffic engineer to look at that. I don't think you want to be on the reorg with the application that's on. And you don't want to be on the first meeting in February unless you always have the risk. If you know an application has objectors, like both of those,
Very
if
much.
you have a choice of having your application in a room with a bunch of people
Yeah, that's your choice.
that might, instead of going to the movies, come here, you might, you could pick up an objector just for the fun of it.
I've seen it happen.
Yeah, unlike like tonight when you got nobody. So I'm thinking if you pick the second meeting in February, and you,
You count.
yeah, we're not discounting you.
Oh, I think
Okay, well, second meeting.
Okay,
in
they're gonna
February
shoot
is
for a
probably
second
gonna
meeting
be,
in February, so let's pencil it in, but it's gotta be deemed
Again,
complete.
that's February 20th.
Okay.
Yeah. Pencil it in, but it's gotta,
Check the time extension, please.
yeah, now, and try to make
They
the,
need one, it's January 31st.
okay, so the second meeting in February, so let's get,
March, April.
April 30th, let's extend to April 30th. And let's tentatively, we're not continuing the application. There's gonna be new notice on both of the applications, because you're starting from scratch. New notice on both of the applications, and you're shooting for a hearing scheduled, consolidated hearing scheduled for February 20th. So, do we have consent to extend to April 30th, Scott?
Yes.
Okay. And you can send something in to the board secretary on that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
With the comments that some of the reports have.
Microphone.
yeah, maybe you can, good point.
Is there a way to clean up some of the plan
If we're
revisions?
going to
with- yeah.
February, we will do
Yeah,
that.
Okay.
clean that stuff up, and then you can get a report back with, hardly any revision comments on it.
We will do that.
But can I just clarify for myself? So is it the 21-day rule
Yeah,
or 10?
21-day rule applies. We're gonna try to get this thing as clean as possible.
Okay, so all plans and materials will be submitted
By,
no less than 21 days prior to the 20th of February.
right, so by January 31.
Not a problem.
Okay. All right,
Now, you got other stuff that your office is gonna be filing around January 31, all over the state,
30th.
January 30th. All the affordable housing.
Oh, yeah.
They're just
Yeah, no, I'm good.
do them sooner than later, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you.
okay, we good?
Okay,
Well, nice to see you all again. Thank you for having us, and we'll see you in a couple months.
Okay.
We'll see you next year, you mean?
And don't anybody start going to the sub shop every week.
that's pretty funny. Yeah, we have a blood test at the door when you come in.
Just as long as I don't smell it, I'm okay. All right, so can we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
John, before you go, can I talk to you?